Part C asks whether the integral from 0 to infinity over 1 over x squared dx converges. Well, this is certainly a pth power. It's 1 over x to the p for p equals 2. What do we know about these powers? Well, as we said earlier, they converge from 0 to 1 if p is smaller than 1, and not otherwise. They converge from 1 to infinity if p is bigger than 1 and not otherwise. So none of these will converge for any p from 0 to infinity. How would we do this formally? Well, formally we would split this integral into two parts, because we have a singularity at 0 and we have infinity, so we have two such boundaries, so we need to split it up. This is the same as the integral from 0 to 1 over x squared dx plus the integral from 1 to infinity over 1 over x squared dx. What can we tell about these integrals? This diverges, this converges, and both because they are a p-series, but to get even the convergence of this one can't rescue the other one, so in total the interval diverges. And that's it. Finally, in part D, here we have an integral from 1 to infinity over x divided by e to the x. Well, what do we know about the behavior? Well, for big values of x, e to the x grows faster than any polynomial. So if we would replace e to the x by, say, x to the 10, then we know that x over e to the x is smaller than x over x to the 10. So we know, and since we don't want to do it concretely for one number, we do it in the limits, so we want to do a limit comparison test. We know that the limit x goes to infinity over x divided by e to the x, and if I divide the whole thing by x divided by, let's just pick x to the 10. Here, what is this? Well, I know this is smaller, so this limit is 0. Therefore, I know that the integral from 1 to infinity over x divided by e to the x dx is smaller or equal than the integral from 1 to infinity over x divided by x to the 10. And this, of course, we can easily simplify. That's the integral 1 over x to the 9 dx. Well, 9 is certainly bigger than 1, so we know this converges. So by the limit comparison test, we know that also the integral from 1 to infinity over x over e to the x dx converges.